Day 78. Mixed. So, chapter 4 of my first book, A Real San Francisco Story with Pets, this month is the 5th year anniversary of me writing this book. Again, chapter 4 is actually called Latino or White, is the name of the chapter. But for all intents and purposes, it's about my identity, or really, I guess you can almost say finding my identity, finding myself as a mixed race person. So I strongly prefer the term mixed race to biracial. That's my personal preference. And I also, before I say anything else, I want to throw out this concept of there's no such a thing as half a person. So even though someone is half Latino or half white, in my case, like, I'm Latino. You know what I mean? Like, again, if you want to get specific, racially, I'm half Latino, but when someone is a person of color, they're that race. You know what I, like, because again, half a person doesn't exist. And much of this boils down to the one drop rule that a bunch of white supremacists came up with years and years and years ago, that you have one drop of anything non-white. But being mixed race is like, it's the best of both worlds, and then sometimes you feel like you're left out of those worlds. For all intents and purposes, I have the privileges afforded to most white males. Like, I think that first off, depending on who you ask, some people think I'm Latino, some people think I'm white. I've gotten every race under the book. And just as many people as want to sit there and say, oh, well, you look this way, you look this way. Oh, but I knew you were this. That's how many people I've heard say the exact opposite. And if you let it get to you, if you're not sure of yourself, it can make you go a little bit crazy. Why? Because you have to be sure about who you are and let them know. Stop allowing anybody to tell you who you are. At least that's how I've kind of come to terms with being mixed race. So another way that I kind of came to terms with this growing up as a kid, something else that I did was, you're gonna laugh, but the music of Mariah Carey. What Britney Spears did for a certain subset of the population, Mariah Carey did for me. And yeah, I won't explain more about that because that's not what this video is about. But I do want to share a quick little excerpt from chapter 4 of my book, A Real San Francisco Story with Pets. And again, this month is the 5-year anniversary. So, Latino or white? My mother was born in El Salvador and moved to San Francisco when she was 18. My father is from Richmond, California, and he met my mother at a church in Oakland. Growing up as a mixed kid in the Bay Area was by no means uncommon. In school, my classmates were Asian, Latino, Black, and every ethnicity in between. Our church was also very diverse. Back in those days, the Mission was a predominantly Latino neighborhood with lots of families. I was raised speaking Spanish at home. You'd think it was my mom who taught me, but it was actually my dad who made sure we grew up bilingual. We weren't allowed to speak English at home, and when we did, my parents pretended that they couldn't understand us. I never developed a particular sense of pride, or shame for that matter, regarding my ethnic makeup, but that all changed once I made a concerted effort to learn about those who came before me. I'm my ancestors' wildest dreams. And that's from chapter 4 of A Real San Francisco Story